So on the topic of like clothes not fitting you and not clothing stores not accommodating people in larger bodies, I've been talking a lot about that on my page, and I don't know, I don't even consider myself in a larger body. Like maybe I am because I don't fit into any of the Frum stores or even the non-Frum stores. I don't, like, I'm an extra large, this doesn't fit me, it's so tight. So that I always tell this to my clients, like maybe something's wrong with the stores. Like maybe it's not something wrong with us, you know, like even though it's really, people don't like to hear that because they're like, no, that's not an answer. And I get it. It's like really frustrating. Like, why can't we just walk into the stores and buy the clothes that look good in our size? And I think that there is a shift going on. Like there's
Right.
definitely more size inclusive stores, and I'm so happy to see. And yeah, I guess I feel both ways towards this. I feel like on the one hand, like feel your pain. It is really frustrating. On the other hand, it's like, let's do something about it. So the stores are accommodating. I always tell women, find a really, really good seamstress, you know, like it's expensive and it's annoying, but like don't stay stuck and don't blame you and like hate yourself and not leave your house because you have nothing to wear, you know, like let's try to do our best to figure it out. Because yeah, you should feel beautiful in your clothes.
Right. Definitely. I think everyone, deserves to feel beautiful. And, if people follow me, they will see that periodically I will post, just stores that I'm made aware of that do have more inclusive sizing. Because I just think that we do need that. And at this point, I have shifted so much that when I meet a person, like I cannot even tell their size. I don't, it's become a number to me. And I just remember the shame of like trying in high school. Like I remember this of like trying to zipper a skirt and like you can barely get your thigh in, or like having to like walk around with the zipper half open. I mean, there's no reason for it. Right. And I even like I've approached store owners and I said, like in certain areas in Brooklyn, and I said, like, this is a community where there are many women having, Baruch Hashem, large families. They're not size 10s any longer. Like, where are they shopping? Right. And the store owner would say to me, they're shopping here. I said, well, but I'm that size and I can't find anything to wear. Like, please bring in more things. And, they have a couple of skirts, a couple of dresses, but not the same selection. I ran a contest a couple of years ago for people to tag their favorite stores, favorite manufacturers, to please model more plus size women. Because I think that feeds into it. I think even if there is something that does fit us, sometimes we don't want to wear it because we feel like we look like too fat, because we're conditioned that we need to look like the model, the size 4 model that's wearing that dress. We're not going to look the same because we don't have the same body shape. Right. So for example, now Mimu Maxi and Estes online and D-Rama, those are a couple of examples of stores that actually also they'll have 2 models showing off their clothing in a smaller size and in a larger size. And I think that's just helpful to recognize, like I don't have to wear black. I'd rather be large and pretty and colorful clothing than be large and black and ugly. That's just my, my personal opinion. And I'm not going to shrink myself into wearing black only because it makes me look slim. Mm-hmm. That's just my feeling on it.
I love that. I think that it's really inspiring. And I think that I'm so happy that like the community has people like you who are talking about this, because no, you don't only have to wear black and you don't only have to make yourself look smaller because something's wrong with you if you're in a larger body. And yes, a lot of clients will say, but at the end of the day, I just want to lose weight. But there is this shift that I think that you're speaking about a lot, and Sarah Kupfer speaking about a lot. Like, let's accept ourselves in this bigger size. Like, let's make this an acceptable, normal, beautiful size, as opposed to like, let's all shrink our bodies and meet the stick figure thin ideal that is impossible to get to, right?
Right. Yeah.
So how did you hear about intuitive eating?
So I'll be honest, if I would have heard the word intuitive eating, I probably would have ran the other way. I was not looking for any program or anything prescribed. What I wanted to do was work on my relationship with food and with my body. I was on, just briefly, I have to just say this because it's like, I think it's like just hashgacha pratis. I had been following Shira Rose for quite some time because of her fashion. And she was also very body positive. I just noticed that she was body positive, and I like that. And someone made a comment, left a comment on one of her pages, and I noticed her Instagram handle was Nourish Kite. And I'm like, whoa, that's cool. That's a cool Instagram handle. Like as in Nourish Kite. Yeah. Everyone knows the Yiddish word of Nourish Kite, which means foolishness, but it was a play on words, nourish and kite. Mm-hmm. So I clicked on her Instagram handle and I looked through her profile and I looked, this person sounds interesting. Like I'm going to follow her. And I saw in her title, it said eating psychology coach. And I'm like, I think that's probably what I need. I need someone to help me deal with like the baggage of like getting through this like body image stuff. And I messaged her, she was on maternity leave, and she said, okay, like I'll reach out to you when I'm ready to work again. And that was really what I needed, the time to like, I'm not like, okay, jump on the bandwagon in 3 seconds. And I knew that, okay, she's going to reach out to me. And I had no idea that she actually was using intuitive eating. I guess the certification title may have changed over the years. But we work together, and her name is Sivi Pell, and she really was able to help me find a lot of validation, and she gave me a lot of tips and tricks of how to become more in tune with my body in terms of my relationship with food. And one of the biggest things that I've told her and that I say is that like intuitive eating has just been liberating. It's been liberating and has been so empowering. It's given me the gift of tapping into like self-care. And that is because one of the principles is coping with your emotions without food. And that was a big thing for me, to learn how to soothe myself or self-care for myself without food, which, you know, it can also be with food, but that was so empowering and liberating. You know, I can go to a simcha and feel like, you know, I can choose the best option here for me. I don't have to feel like it's only, you know, bagels and lox and, you know, noodles. You know, I'll figure out what's going to work. And that's what I always feel like this is really almost a Torahic approach mm-hmm. to food. It's understanding that we have a body that we want to take care of, but we want to be gentle in that also. We want to be kind to ourselves in all of the areas. And that's what is astounding to me, is that intuitive eating, like it hits the mental health, it hits, you know, socialization and physical health and the exercise component. And it doesn't really exclude any, sorry for the noise. It doesn't really exclude any approach to health, and that except for restriction, which I think that's the gestational diabetes part, but I don't know if I'll have time for that.